Is Jason Voorhees a Deadite from the Evil Dead? And is the Friday the 13th franchise related to the Evil Dead franchise? Or is the proof for this theory just a coincidence? And this is just another wild fan theory. In my last video, I went into the lore behind the question of whether Jason Voorhees actually drowned or not. And in doing that video, I came across the theory that Jason was resurrected by his mother Pamela Voorhees with the use of the Necronomicon, making Jason a Deadite and linking the Friday the 13th franchise to the Evil Dead franchise. This theory has a lot of traction and actually a lot of reasonable truth, so I just had to dive deep into this lore. Jason Voorhees, the relentless force haunting Camp Crystal Lake, has long been shrouded in mystery. His superhuman strength, regenerative abilities, and his apparent immortality have led fans to question the origins of his otherworldly powers. In the Evil Dead series, the Necronomicon, Ex Mortis, or the Book of Dead plays a pivotal role in unleashing demonic forces known as Deadites. These entities are humans possessed by Kandarian demons, exhibiting enhanced strength and resilience. The foundation of this theory arises from a notable Easter egg in Jason Goes to Hell, the Final Friday from 1993. During a scene set in the old Voorhees house, the Necronomicon is visibly present, suggesting a possible link between the two franchises. This brief appearance has sparked extensive fan speculation. Could Pamela Voorhees have used the Necronomicon to resurrect her son, inadvertently transforming him into a Deadite? Adam Marcus, the director of Jason Goes to Hell, has addressed this exact connection. He stated that Pamela Voorhees makes a deal with the devil by reading from the Necronomicon to bring back her son. And this is why Jason isn't Jason. He's Jason plus the Evil Dead. Marcus's revelation adds weight to the theory, but how does this align with Jason's established lore? To understand this, we must delve into the origins of both the Necronomicon and Jason Voorhees himself. And to fully grasp the potential connection between Jason Voorhees and the Necronomicon Ex Mortis, it's essential to understand the origins and powers of both sides. In the Evil Dead universe, and it's the Necronomicon Ex Mortis, or as it is also known as the Book of the Dead, and it is an ancient Sumerian text bound in human flesh and inked in blood. Its pages contain incantations that summon demons, unleash plagues, and resurrect the dead. This darkly imaginative creation serves as the heart of the franchise, and it sets the stage for decades of horror. And the book's origin is shrouded in mystery, but it is known to harbor dark energy capable of awakening demons and the living dead. The story of Jason Voorhees begins with a tragedy. As a child attending Camp Crystal Lake, he drowned due to the negligence of the camp counselors. This event drove his mother, Pamela Voorhees, to seek vengeance, leading to the murders in the original Friday the 13th film. However, Jason's body was never recovered, and he remained missing for years. Years later, Jason reemerges as an adult, living as a hermit near Camp Crystal Lake. His sudden return and subsequent killing sprees raise questions about his survival and transformation. So in Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, he is resurrected through a bolt of lightning, granting him superhuman abilities and marking his transition into an unstoppable force. And this is where, as we said in the last video, where some people start to disconnect Jason from being alive to being a superhuman or supernatural force, saying he was alive for the first 4 movies. 5 he was not in, and 6 he was resurrected, and from then on he was dead. And that's the theory I actually believe, and the one I talked about in my last video. So that's just connecting some dots right there. Understanding these origins provides a foundation for exploring the theory that links Jason's supernatural ability to the Necronomicon Ex Mortis. Building upon the foundations we've discussed, let's go into the specific elements within the Friday the 13th franchise that support the theory of Jason Voorhees being a Deadite. So the appearance of the Necronomicon in Jason Goes to Hell, and that's really all we have. So in Jason Goes to Hell, the Final Friday, there's a notable scene set in the Voorhees house where the Necronomicon Ex Mortis, the infamous Book of the Dead from the Evil Dead series, is prominently displayed. This inclusion was not merely a random prop, but a deliberate choice by director Adam Marcus. He intended to suggest a deeper connection between the two franchises, implying that Jason's resurrection and supernatural abilities might be linked to the dark rituals associated with the Necronomicon. Let's talk about the director Adam Marcus's intent and statements. So Adam Marcus has openly discussed his intention behind incorporating the Necronomicon into the film. He proposed that Pamela Voorhees was very desperate to bring her son back and use the book to resurrect Jason, which also inadvertently turned him into a Deadite. And Marcus stated, quote unquote, "So yes, in my opinion, Jason Voorhees is a Deadite. He's one of the evil dead." This perspective offers an intriguing explanation for Jason's unnatural resilience and strength throughout the whole entire series and franchise. So next we have the Kandarian Dagger, and this is another subtle nod to the Evil Dead series in Jason Goes to Hell, and it is the appearance of the Kandarian Dagger itself, or a weapon that looked recognizable to it. This weapon was recognized by the fans of the Evil Dead, and it is used in the film, and that also further cements the connection between the two universes. It was a sword that needed to be used by a relative of Jason to finally kill him before Freddy, took the mask down underground, as we all saw at the end of that movie. Its presence suggests that the tools and artifacts from the Evil Dead world have a role in the Friday the 13th narrative, reinforcing the Deadite theory once again. So now Jason's supernatural abilities. So throughout the whole Friday the 13th series, Jason exhibits abilities that are difficult to attribute to a mere mortal or a living human. His remarkable healing factor, superhuman strength, and apparent immortality align with the characteristics of Deadites, who are known for their enhanced physical abilities and resistance to conventional injuries. This correlation adds weight to the theory that Jason's powers stem from a supernatural source, possibly the Necronomicon's dark magic. And now we're going to talk about the Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash comic series, and even though it's not considered or even related to the Friday the 13th franchise really at all, the Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash comic series explores the idea of Jason being connected to the Necronomicon. In this storyline, it's revealed that Pamela Voorhees used the book to resurrect her son, aligning with the Deadite theory. And yeah, this is an expanded universe narrative, but it reflects the enduring appeal and plausibility of this concept overall, and fans and creators really enjoy this series, so I had to add it in here. So these elements collectively provide compelling evidence that support the theory of Jason Voorhees being a Deadite, and that links the Friday the 13th franchise to the Evil Dead franchise in a shared supernatural universe as a whole. And while the theory that Jason Voorhees is a Deadite offers an intriguing crossover between the Friday the 13th and Evil Dead franchises, it has faced several criticisms and alternative interpretations. So first we have the continuity of the franchise and the concerns that brings. One major critique is the inconsistency this theory introduces to the established lore of both franchises. The Evil Dead series has its own distinct mythology surrounding the Deadites and the Necronomicon, which doesn't seamlessly align with the narrative of Friday the 13th. And critics argue that merging these universes could complicate the continuity of both series, leading to a potential whole lot of plot holes and contradictions. But we do need to remember that Friday the 13th franchise is all over the place naturally by itself, so we really can't even say that. So this is really just more for the Evil Dead, because, if you've seen the whole Friday the 13th franchise, it really makes no damn sense. It's just fun. And not to mention that this theory really only stems from one singular Friday the 13th movie, so the other 11 movies do not mention this at all. And there were even 2 more movies after Jason Goes to Hell, and a reboot in which any clues to this theory were never mentioned again. This was the only film in the franchise that was directed by Adam Marcus, so it is definitely possible and very likely that he was just a fan and made this theory about Jason's backstory, and it never really stuck, so it was just forgotten, other than some fan work such as the comic book series we just talked about. And also, if this was true, that would mean that I would be wrong about Jason never having drowned in my last video, so that tells you what side I'm on in this theory, but it's really up for debate, so let me know what you think down in the comments below. But here are some alternative explanations for Jason's abilities, some of which we really already went over in last video. So several theories have been proposed to explain Jason's supernatural characteristics without invoking the Deadite concept, and those are: 1, regenerative abilities. Some fans suggest that Jason possesses an innate regenerative power, allowing him to recover from injuries that would be fatal to ordinary humans, and this natural ability could account for his resilience without the need for external supernatural influences. And this is kind of the least likely one, because this would mean he would just have to be born with this power, which isn't fun and doesn't really make any sense. So That's the weakest one. But number 2, possession by a vengeful spirit. Another theory posits that Jason is possessed by a malevolent entity or force, possibly linked to the cursed grounds of Camp Crystal Lake. This possession could explain his relentless drive and supernatural strength. So that's probably my favorite one, but we do have a third one. We have Undead Revenant. Some interpretations depict Jason as an undead revenant, a being brought back from death through sheer will or a curse, driven by vengeance for his own tragic fate and his mother's demise. So really just probably the most commonly known, but not as fun as the second one. So the Jason is a Deadite theory provides a very fascinating lens through which to view the Friday the 13th series, offering a potential crossover with the Evil Dead universe. And while certain elements such as the appearance of a Necronomicon in Jason Goes to Hell has some great support for this idea, it definitely remains a topic of debate and is, I don't know if you can say it's a definite yes, but some people do believe it, some don't, and alternative explanations for Jason's supernatural abilities continue to thrive, and each of them add to a whole rich tapestry of interpretation surrounding Jason Voorhees himself, and ultimately whether Jason is a Deadite or a unique supernatural entity, he definitely has left a legacy in horror, and that is just unquestionable. So overall, I don't believe this theory as I stated a little bit ago, but hey, I'm always wrong, so who am I kidding? Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. Also drop some other Friday the 13th lore you would like me to go into. It's pretty fun making these type of videos, so yeah, drop them down below. Please drop a like and hit that subscribe button, or you will wake up with a naked Deadite Jason next to you in bed. Thank y'all so much for watching, and have a blessed day. Peace!